Did you know that the entirety of the United Kingdom is less than 70 miles from the ocean, and most of it is even closer to a naturally navigable river, giving the country some of the best natural port locations in the world in places like London, Portsmouth, and Liverpool? So, why then is the second largest city in the country in the most landlocked place you can get? Birmingham, 60 miles from the nearest ocean and 20 miles from the nearest navigable river, with only small creeks winding through this region of 3 million people. Well, welcome to Why There, the show where I explain why your favorite places are in your favorite places. This episode, Birmingham. To start with, Birmingham sits on the Birmingham Plateau, a 500-foot tall ridge running through the center of England, too high for any major rivers to flow through, meaning that for most of English history, there was nothing much going on here. In the Domesday Book, a survey of England from 1086, Birmingham is listed as a manor worth 20 shillings, so nothing to write home about. What Birmingham and the Midlands in general do have a lot of, though, is iron and coal, making this a hub for metalworking going back almost 1,000 years to when a guy named Peter de Birmingham set up a market here for metal goods, attracting merchants from all over. By 1700, Birmingham was the fifth largest city in England. But starting in the 18th century, as you may know, a lot happened in England, and the city went from small market town to arguably the most important city in the world in less than 50 years. Now, this is for a few reasons. By then, Birmingham had developed a rich culture of scientific thought thanks in part to what's known as the Lunar Society, an informal club of scientists and philosophers who met under the moonlight to discuss arts and science, spurring what would become known as the Midlands Enlightenment. Those ideas, combined with Birmingham's skilled metalworkers and abundant coal, turned the city into the capital of the Industrial Revolution. Throughout the 1700s, Birmingham would produce 3 times as many patents as any other British city, with familiar hits like the blast furnace, the cotton mill, and the big one, the industrial steam engine. Birmingham would go on to be the industrial capital of the world for nearly 100 years. The biggest problem, though, is that without rivers, there wasn't a great way for the city to get resources or export its goods to market. They were still in the process of inventing trains, after all. From the 1760s onward, the city built 170 miles of artificial canals, more than Amsterdam or Venice, giving them access to all the natural resources they could process, and turning Birmingham into the second largest city in the United Kingdom, a title it still holds to this day. The city was so important to British industry that it was one of the heaviest targets of German bombing during World War II, destroying huge swaths of it. After rebuilding and refocusing on the growing post-war automotive industry, Birmingham was the wealthiest and most productive city in the United Kingdom all the way up until the 1980s, when industrial reforms and economic globalization pushed the city's manufacturing sector into a collapse that the city is still recovering from. Nowadays, less than 10% of the city's workforce is in manufacturing, actually a lower percentage than the national average, and the city has the highest income inequality of any British city. But at least those miles and miles of canals are still around to be enjoyed till this day. Brummies, let me know what I missed in the comments, and everyone else, let me know where you think we should go next. Thanks so much for watching. Follow for more.